I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be when she dumps you several times and then takes you back. Got an email here from a viewer, and he says, "Hi Corey, I just got dumped again by the same girl after a year and a half together. Off and on, once last spring, and then last week we got back together after the first dumping after a month or so of very little contact. And yes, I was the one that asked if we could get together." So in other words, she dumped you, and then a month later you went and you begged it for her to take you back. That's pretty weak. And when a girl arbitrarily, or unilaterally I should say, alters the terms of your relationship that are not to your liking, puts you in friend zone, or dumps you, or breaks up with you, you don't continue to chase her or pursue her. The idea is that you gotta give her space, because if a girl doesn't treat you the way you want to be treated, you simply walk away and find somebody better. Because a man who perceives himself as a catch, that's what he will do. He won't sit around. He's like, "You're dumping me?" It's like, "Hey, well, give me a call when you change your mind, because I promise you won't find anybody better." I mean, that's the attitude. Not you're going to be a dick about it, but, I mean, obviously, you don't get dumped by a woman who's chasing you. And if you follow the things that I teach in my book, then women will be chasing you and pursuing you, and so this kind of crap wouldn't happen. So it's obviously this particular guy is new to my work. And so he says, "After I read your book, I applied the once a week over at my place for dinner and drinks, and then she'd sleep over and we'd have sex either that night or the next morning, and boy, she has the right attitude in the bedroom, LOL." He says, "Anyway, she was out of work for about a year and finally landed a job about a month ago. On our last couple of dates, out of the blue, she'd mentioned this guy at work who was a bit older but very attractive." Yeah, in other words, she's telling you, hey, this is going to be your replacement. And he says, "Plus, they did lunch together as well. It didn't even faze me when she told me, plus her dad is very sick and in palliative care, which she was very concerned about. Anyways, long story short, I received an email, or he said, I received mail from her last Sunday telling me that she'd had some fun with me. Actually, she's had a lot of fun with me, and she can no longer be in this relationship because she needs to focus on her career and her family." Well, I mean, that's what happens when you chase and you do all the pursuing, especially when you chase a girl who's dumped you. You basically, she's sticking around because it was easy sex, it was fun until she found something better, and plus you've basically communicated to her no matter how badly she treats you, no matter how many times she dumps you, or she treats you like a chump, or walks all over you, or blows you off, you're still going to chase her and come after her. So there's nothing for her to fear losing, because she pretty much knows that even if what she's found, even though she might think it's better, if it doesn't work out, she can always probably call you and you'll be at her beck and call. That's why she treats you this way, because she basically walks all over you and treats you like a doormat, and you just sit there and take it. And so he says, he assumes that the reason she told him this is because she wants to focus on this new guy. Well, I would say you're probably right about that. He says, "Anyway, she told me I need not reply to this email as there's nothing more to say, so I haven't, and I've not contacted her as well." He says, "I'm walking and not looking back this time." He says, "I didn't even get a chance to tell her, give me a call if you change your mind, as I'm not interested in this scenario. I'm still crazy about her, Corey, but I have to cut my losses and move on. Question is should I have replied to her email?" You could have, but it doesn't really matter. It's been several weeks to this point. You didn't, so it's like, who fucking cares? The bottom line is, in her mind, you've trained her to assume that you're always going to chase her. And women are more attracted to men whose feelings are unclear. And even though she may be with some other guy right now, 97% of the dudes that she's going to encounter don't understand this stuff. So even though he might be great for this month or a couple of months, more than likely a few months down the road, he's going to be fucking up. And when he does that, usually you'll be one of the first people that she calls, because she'll just assume that she can have you back. But if you were to call her and text her, I mean, you don't try to keep somebody that doesn't want to keep you, and that's where you went wrong here in this scenario, is that you kept chasing her even though she kept dumping you. And she kept taking you back because she pretty much hadn't found anything better, And plus, because you didn't have any self-respect to walk away, so you just kept running after her. Whereas if you'd have just let her go, walk away, never look back like you say you want to, and which is the only thing that's going to really cause her to... Because if you want a woman to chase you, to pursue you, to fall in love with you, she has to think it's her idea. And she's got to be doing most of the calling, texting, chasing, and pursuing. That'll never happen when you're treating her the way you're treating this particular girl, where you're acting like the woman in the relationship, and that's why you're getting treated this way. That's why she becomes flaky, and I can't do this anymore, and I'm out of here. And I had a buddy that I knew years ago. He was a very successful guy, but he just acted fucking pathetically weak around women. And he never really had a hard time getting women, but keeping them into him was his problem because he acted like such a pussy. He was dating this girl, and she was really fucking hot, really beautiful, and she lived in the UK, and I remember him telling me this story. He was over there visiting her for like a week or two or whatever, and they had just gotten finished having sex. And it's like, I guess after he rolled off of her, or she got off of him, she just said to him, "I can't do this anymore." And she ended the relationship right on the spot, and he never heard from her again. And it's because she stayed with him long past the point where she had any respect. And so therefore, when she walked away from him and walked away from the relationship, he never heard from her again. Because he was so blinded by his high interest in her, he just assumed that she felt the same way. And women will do that. And this particular girl, she may have stayed with you to the point where she just had absolutely no respect for you at all. And that way, to blow you off and leave you, it's not a big deal to her. And so my advice to you is to read my book, bury your nose in it, read it a dozen or so times, start applying the things that I teach so you can meet some new women, and start applying the things that I teach so you can get women chasing you. Because when a girl's chasing you, she'll never dump you like this particular girl has done. And the reason that you got dumped is because you continually chased her and act like the woman in the relationship. So if you want things to change, apply what I teach in my book. And you can get a copy of my book right now by downloading the digital version. You can go right to my website, and underneath the email sign-up box is a box that has a link that will take you right to the Amazon Kindle download page. And once you get there, if you don't have a Kindle device, on the right-hand side of the download page is a button you can click to download one of their free e-reader apps. It only takes a matter of seconds to download and install the app and complete the purchase of my book. And if you have a question you want to ask me in a future video newsletter, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab, which will be on the left-hand side of your screen, and send me 1 to 2 paragraphs maximum. And just give me several days to get back with you with a response, because I get a lot of email from the internet. And if you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session. You could do that by going to my website, click the Products tab, which will be at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. And if you appreciate the value of the information I offer in these video newsletters and the articles on my website, you can show your appreciation by going to my website, and on the Wibia toolbar, which will be at the bottom of your screen, click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information. And I will talk to you soon.